Man, I feel like it's been forever since we've done this show. Let's get it nice and fogged up. Nice and cyberpunky. There we go. Wait for some folks to pop in. If you were just joining, ooh, that looks real foggy. This is way back, 19XDX. This is a show about all the games I played as a kid and grew up with, and tonight is going to be something a little bit different than what we've been doing. Just waiting for that notification to come through. Make sure we're actually live, because lately signing in and out of PlayStation Network on Twitch has been kind of funky. So let's see, here we go. Gotta get that chat up. Yes. Alright, we are officially live. I'm Chris, aka Pixel Polygon, and I'm having a freak out because I'm super stoked to be playing some damn Game Boy games tonight. Well, specifically one Game Boy game. One that I'm super excited about. This is Operation C Night. Operation C, for anyone who doesn't know, is the portable, handheld version of Contra. When I was a kid, I had no idea what Contra was. The first 8-bit Contra game that I played was Super C. Excellent video game. But I didn't even know that plain old vanilla Contra was a thing. I didn't know that Contra was originally an arcade game with these really bizarre graphics and animations. There's a Super C as well. But my first exposure to the series came in the late 80s, not too long after my grandparents got me a Game Boy for Christmas, which was super amazing. Now, the theme on the show is definitely trying to play through my personal catalog and experience in order. It's not super duper exact because, of course, if you know anything about Game Boy, if you grew up with one, you would know that the pack-in game at launch was Tetris. Tetris is a phenomenal game. It's so good. I used to play it a lot, and I was by no means a grandmaster, but I was okay. We're not going to play Tetris tonight. It just doesn't make sense to go into that right now when I would rather shoot xenomorphs in the face with spread guns. Other early games that I had on Game Boy include Super Mario Land. Great game. We'll probably circle back and play that one at some point. But, like I said, we're jamming on this guy, Operation C. And I still remember to this day, get that up for you to see, woohoo, look at that, messing with our holograms. I still remember to this day, my dad coming home from work. I grew up in the south suburbs of Chicago, and he worked in the city, so he had a tiny bit of a commute to and from his office. So he came home from work, and he was super excited, really jazzed up about something, and he showed me this game. He was like, look what I bought for us to play. And my dad wasn't super into video games or anything. He was into records, music, movies. He got really back into comic books during that huge collector popularity boom in the early 90s. He got into trading cards and Topps and Fleer and all that nonsense. But video games were never really his thing. But I still got excited when there were times when he would actually want to play something with me, which was cool. And we played, actually my mom played Rampage with me, which was hilarious. That was always super fun. I would try to get my mom to play Mario with me. I could get my dad to play Super Mario Kart, but there were really only a handful of games that he was into, and once we got Operation C, we were hooked on the Contra series. We ended up getting Super C for NES not too long after. And he was always a huge action movie guy, and I don't know if he picked up on it overtly or if it was just subtle, but, search the web and look up all the different pieces of American media, action movies, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all these like iconic 80s bad dudes with big guns fighting soldiers and aliens and monsters. Those are all the visual references that artists in Japan use when creating key art and promotional materials and even the covers for these games. Sometimes I'll throw up like an East and West version of the cover, but I thought this print ad was ridiculous. But yeah, look up Contra artwork and you'll see they just straight up drew in Schwarzenegger and Stallone. So I feel like my dad was drawn to that macho action thing, and that's why he picked this game up and brought it home, and we played the shit out of it. On one of these fucking gray bricks of deliciousness, I have a stack of these. I have Game Boy Colors. I don't have a Game Boy Pocket. There's something about this design. It's so simple and clean and awesome. And so, of course, you joke about it, but it's true. We had to sort of sit and play, like, with your face this far away, kind of angled so the light would hit it the right way if you weren't in a bright enough room. And it was amazing. It was awesome. Pop your headphones in. The sound chip in original Game Boy just sings. It's amazing. So we're going to be playing this tonight thanks to this guy. We've got our Super Game Boy, which, I'm no tech expert, but I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, if there's anybody watching and wants to throw a shout out in the chat, I'm pretty sure this is pretty much taken apart and put into a Super Game Boy shell minus the screen. I think the components are 1-to-1 and identical. So it should be a super accurate representation of the game. And we've got it running through Super Nintendo into the XRGB Mini, and we're capturing the RGB signal, and it looks really good. I did a run through of the first stage before broadcasting, and man, the sound effects, the music, it's amazing how such a tiny game on such a small handheld can feel so big. And again, this was my first exposure to Contra, so it only made the NES games feel grander, but I've always had a soft spot in my heart for this portable Game Boy version. So, yeah, I think in a few moments I will cut this stream. It'll be a little short break. I've got everything set up back over there in the corner. Should be able to just hit broadcast again. If you're watching, you might need to refresh your browser or restart your Twitch app. Although lately I've been noticing that things have been pretty good about just auto-refreshing on their own, which is sick. But yeah, we're going to jam on some Operation C, and I think it's going to be really cool. And then our buddy Tommy, who is our fighting game nerd, he has been talking about how he's a little burned out on Street Fighter V. He's in a tiny bit of a slump and just not feeling the game, so he's going to, instead of being the salty brawler tonight, he's going to be rocking out the salty baller. Like, all of us are super, super obsessed with Rocket League right now. We played last night, it was a shit show. It was just lots of swearing and cussing and stupidity, but it was really fun. 500 points, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. So yeah, tonight Tommy is going to be the salty baller instead of the salty brawler, and I think he's going to try and play some matches online. We'll see how pissed off he gets at that game. I don't know if he was looking for a goalie or a teammate, but if you're watching, yeah, let me know, man. I'll hop in there. I'll play. That game's been out for ages, and I feel like nobody I know has been talking about it, and we just randomly picked it up over the weekend because it was on sale, me and Tommy, because we have beaten the Dark Souls DLC. He doesn't want to play 5. He's like, what can we play? And I said, oh, let's check out this Rocket League game. I remember Logan said it was cool like 6 months ago or something. So yeah, definitely really obsessed with that. Anyway, enough about stupid-ass Rocket League. Let's go play some Operation C. Cutting the stream. Hey, what's up, Rick? Drive safe, my friend. Thanks for joining. I'm cutting the stream, and I'm gonna go hit broadcast on the RGB setup back there, and Super Game Boy is going to treat us to a night of Game Boy Contra. It's going to be radical. See you guys in a sec.